Hello and welcome. My name is Griffith, Senior Analyst with Control Risks, and I'm speaking to you today from Dubai. Today we will discuss the conflict in Yemen and the implications it has for maritime operations in the Red Sea. The conflict has now entered its fourth year and given rise to new threats to shipping in the Red Sea as a result of the rebel Houthi movement's targeting of commercial and military vessels associated with the Saudi-led coalition. In recent weeks, the coalition has begun an operation to retake the key port city of Hodeida, the Houthis' last remaining port on the Red Sea coast. The port is vital to the Houthis as it constitutes one of the group's main sources of revenue. The battle could take weeks and give rise again to threats to shipping in the Red Sea. My colleague, Cormac McGarry, Maritime Intelligence Lead Analyst in London, will now discuss those threats.
Thank you, Graham. And yes, what the Maritime team here has been observing since around mid-2016 is a proliferation of maritime insecurity in the region as a result of the conflict in Yemen. This is added to an already complex threat region where we've traditionally seen Somali piracy dominate the area. Now, since mid-2016, what we began seeing was terrorist attacks in the Bab el-Mandab Strait. That's the area of water, a very narrow corridor that links the Gulf of Aden and the southern Red Sea. And what we saw was attacks on tankers. For example, we saw an attack on a liquid natural gas carrier by militants that were carrying explosives in their boat. The intent was clearly to blow up that vessel, very different to what Somali pirates have been trying to do for over a decade now. We saw a number of such incidents. We believe those were committed by regional militant groups such as Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. Now, add to that another threat actor, which is further up the Red Sea coast of Yemen, which is the Houthi movement that Graham mentioned. Now, the Houthi movement control Hodeida. They control large territories that are now under threat. And the Houthi movement since 2016 has been targeting shipping in the Red Sea, but almost exclusively targeting vessels that are affiliated with the Saudi-led coalition, with some exceptions. So, for example, in April of this year, we saw a ballistic missile attack on a Saudi-flagged crude carrier in the Red Sea. With Hodeida under serious threat from the Saudi-led coalition, we're going to see, and we already are seeing, a slight change in this. So Hodeida has been critically important for supplies and revenue for the Houthi movement, and for that reason they've had to protect merchant shipping coming in. So in the last month or so, as we've seen Hodeida come under serious threat from the coalition, the Houthis have less incentive to protect shipping coming in if and when they lose the city. And in the last month, we've seen 2 merchant vessels that had no affiliation with the Saudi coalition being subject to violence in the Red Sea. Now, if and when they lose the port city of Hodeida, the Houthis will retain some territory for some time further north along the Red Sea coast of Yemen. And from that territory, they will retain the capability to launch maritime attacks on shipping in the Red Sea. And what will have changed is that they no longer have the incentive to protect shipping going into Hodeida because they've lost it. Now, this whole threat picture has changed so dramatically, and it's a major concern for those of us in the maritime community that the industry has launched a new document called Best Management Practices in its latest edition, which Control Risks strongly advises maritime operators to adhere to, and we also strongly advise to understand the threats and risks that your vessels, people and crew face in the region. So thank you for joining Control Risks today. For more information on these issues, please subscribe to the Maritime newsletter listed below.